Will the value of real estate crash in 2022? Stay tuned. I'll get back to that in a minute. Hi everyone, happy 2022. I hope it's going to be a great year for you. After we've gotten through the last few years with COVID and all the rest of it, it's still challenging times in certain parts of the world, no doubt about that. Just want to give you a quick update on my predictions for the real estate market in this coming year. If you're a seller in particular and been sitting on the fence trying to time the market, and you're planning to sell within the next 3 years or less, I think the first 2 quarters of 2022 are going to be one of the best selling times in our history here in Victoria. You know, right now sellers have more equity in their homes in probably at any point in history, and that's being fueled by a low supply of properties available for sale right now. Plus, money is still cheap, and we have a really high demand. So real estate is just really what comes down to it, supply and demand. Right now, we have a huge demand and a very low supply. So all of these things, I think, are likely to start changing. There are 2 things on the horizon that I think are really going to be the factors that are going to start changing things. And first of all, right now, number 1 is we have inflation, which is much higher than governments want to see. And the number 1 tool for governments to fight inflation is to raise interest rates. As a matter of fact, we just had a 0.5% increase at the Bank of Canada. The large banks have already announced that will be raising their prime rates as well in response to the Bank of Canada's rate hike. So I'm expecting we're going to see probably 3 to 5 interest rate hikes over the next 12 months. This is going to make borrowing much more expensive, home ownership less attainable, and for investors, it's going to make it their margins not as attractive, and there may be a bit of a pullback on investors dipping into the real estate market as well. So these are factors I can see. I'm going to turn that off. These are factors that I think are going to start to stabilize the market. So I see more sluggish sales starting in the 3rd quarter, which could lead to more inventory, which would be great. That could move our robust sellers market to more of a balanced one, which would be good for buyers. So will the value of real estate crash in Victoria? Well, you know what? I don't think so. House prices, I believe, are going to start to flatten, particularly in the 4th quarter. There might be a slight price correction. I've been selling real estate for 25 plus years, and I have seen some corrections. Usually, like even a 10% correction is unusual. In certain areas, tend to hold their value quite well, like places like Oak Bay. Anyways, I think condos and townhomes will increase in value continuing through to the end of the year. Whereas house prices, I think, are going to kind of peak by the end of the 2nd quarter and start to flatten and may even start to decrease. So, I mean, Victoria is a unique place. We really, in the core area, we really have no more real estate. And that's what makes this market hard to understand for a lot of people, right? For example, you can go to Calgary. If they want to build more houses, they just keep expanding into the next farmer's field. We don't have that here in Victoria. We are, you know, our real estate is what we've got, with the exception of a few areas, Western communities. Yes, there's areas to develop, but in the core area, there is no more real estate. So, do I see a market crash? No, I don't. So that's my thoughts on the market this year. If you're thinking of making a move or just curious on the value of your property, call or text me at 250-213-9389, or you can email me at kerry@kerrydavies.com. It's free. There's never any obligation. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. Thanks so much for watching my previous video. Like if you're out in the trenches right now as a buyer making offers, make sure you watch my video, Winning Multiple Offers. You're going to get lots of tips in there on how you can make sure your offers get accepted. And if you're from out of town and you're thinking about moving to Victoria, then make sure you watch my pros and cons of living in Victoria, BC. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon and take care.